think it was 2 or 3 years ago. I'll make sure I get that information once he gets on. They got bumped up to Class 7A last year, so that was a big jump. Battled in a really tough region too. So, Coach, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, glad to be on. I haven't been such a great guest. It's been a couple of times I've been trying to get on, and I'm glad we can finally make it happen. We get the schedule to work out.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I saw an article, I think it was from a couple years ago, something about a 1,000-day project that you kind of implemented when you took over the program. You got to be close to that 1,000-day mark at this point. So talk a little bit about that, just how that has been used to kind of establish what you want to bring to the program.
Well, yeah, we actually reached that 1,000-day mark, game 10 of last season, and that was a 17-0 victory over North Forsyth that punched a ticket for a playoff berth. But when I got the job, and everybody assumes that there's a lot of great things, a great history at Gainesville. But when I got the job on day one, they handed me the roster, and there was 30 names on the roster, and I take the sheet and I flip it front back looking for the rest of the names, and they're not really there. And I met the kids and the 30 that were there, and some of those guys, I immediately thought, there's no way that this guy will be able to live up to the standards that we want, and so some of those original 30 guys I cut, and we recruited the hallways like crazy, and we ended up, basically starting from scratch. I realized at that point in time that we were going to have to start all over, and this was not going to be an easy process. This was not going to be win in game in year one. So that first year we went 2-9, and we won the 2 games that mattered that got us in the playoffs. But we really just started from scratch and just started all over. We got a 100+ year history at Gainesville, but we started all over, and knew that it would take some time. And we get to that 1,000-day mark, and that 1,000-day mark again was a shutout victory, and securing the first winning season at Gainesville since 2015. So it was just a process of just understanding it was going to be a long road. It was not going to be a quick fix.
So talk about that challenge, because I know you jumped up to 7A. Was that something where that multiplier of maybe out of district, did that kind of bump you guys up in terms of enrollment?
No, actually it didn't. We were at that enrollment, and outside of Hall County, our population is not that high, so the multiplier doesn't have a great impact on us. Okay. We just have, what's happened is the city of Gainesville has grown as itself. So you look at the great history that is Gainesville. Most of that is AA, AAA success. But the city itself has grown, and our population has grown here at the school, and so that last count that put us in 7A was 2,300 students, and all those kids were local. So it's not a multiplier issue; it's just a growth issue that put us in 7A.
Yeah, and obviously the Gainesville area is growing, and so is Forsyth. They've got schools popping up everywhere, including Denmark in your region. So I do want to talk a little bit about this region you find yourself in. We saw West Forsyth had a great year last year. Denmark, a team that a new head coach, defensively, they really showed up, and that was their first year in Class 7A as well. So just talk about what that first year in 7A looked like, and just your caliber of competition in Region 6.
Yeah, it's great football. Everybody's very well coached. Players are really good. I love it. And there are no gimmies on our schedule. There are certainly no gimmies within our region. It's just really good football, and we're blessed to be a part of it. And I've kind of described it as this. The region champion, West Forsyth, beat us by 7, and we've got the football in a 2-minute drill, and we crossed the 50 and just couldn't get the job done to score a touchdown and try to compete for a win in that ball game. That was down to the final 2 minutes. And Denmark, they have the ball. It's a tie ball game with 2 minutes left to go, 21-21, uh, and with a tremendous quarterback and Aaron McLaughlin that goes down the field and in a 2-minute drill, and they kick a field goal at the end of the ball game to beat us 24-21. So that's the level of competitiveness that is within this region. And then you look at Lambert, who finished last on a sheet of paper. They finished last, but we beat them by 7. So it's super competitive and just a great fun region to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a great atmosphere too. I went to Bobby Grun Stadium for the first time. It was when the Falcons went there for their Friday Night Lights. It was right after you guys had won the state title, and it was absolutely packed. It was really one of the top atmospheres I've seen. So, just talk about what that does, though. You come off your winning season, you're back in the playoffs. You guys have kind of reestablished that, and then to just have these really exciting matchups on the schedule. Just talk about that excitement returning to Gainesville.
Yeah, it's a great place to play, and since then we've added the largest video scoreboard this side of the southeast, just this side of the Mississippi. So just to add even more to the atmosphere at that place, but it's awesome. They've been playing football there for 100 years, and it's a cool setting in the middle of the city. It's not on our campus. It's a city park where there's a playground right next door, and it's awesome. It's surrounded by trees, and what a beautiful setting, and the atmosphere is awesome, and our fans are the best. I mean, we've got people that have been sitting in the same seats at that stadium for 60 years, season ticket holders, and that's what makes this place special, and that's what makes Gainesville so awesome. And we're excited to put a great schedule. Our home schedule is tremendous. With obviously the Corky Kell game with Johns Creek, and we got a local rivalry in Flowery Branch that'll be at City Park. Denmark, we talked about earlier, that'll be at City Park. Our home schedule is awesome, so we're going to be able to have a lot of fun at City Park this year.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's talk about that big matchup against Johns Creek in the Corky Kell. Uh, they've got a lot of athletes on their team. I think they've had a pretty intense quarterback competition as well, and a lot of talent there. So talk about just playing Johns Creek in that opener.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Obviously a very talented football team, and we're excited to get on the field with them and compete. It's an honor for us to be a part of the Corky Kell Classic. Something that, as an assistant coach, I've had the opportunity to be a part of it in the past, and it's my first time as a head coach, and first time for Gainesville to be a part of it, and we're really excited and honored to be a part of it. And when you factor in such a great, talented football team coming to City Park to do it, it's going to be an electric atmosphere, and I think it'll be a great football game.
And then just coming off last year, going into this season, looks like you did have a pretty capable defense last year, and then offensively, you guys were able to spark some big scores in some of those games. So just what's the overall kind of makeup of your team this year, just on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, we were very good defensively last year. We lost some guys, but we get the key component back, which is our defensive front. Feel really good about those guys. They make us go. We do have a couple of players on the back end that will help us. So we're kind of rebuilding there on the defensive side and the secondary, but we've got players. We've got athletes, guys that are very capable. We're kind of feel like it's a reload kind of mentality defensively. Offensively, we've got, I'm calling it 8.5 starters back. So we lost both offensive tackles. Both guys that are playing collegiately right now and we lost a quarterback. Our senior quarterback last year, Gianni Williams, was also our free safety. So we played a freshman quarterback in Baxter Wright about half the time, and Baxter got great reps as a freshman. Will be our starter this year, his sophomore year, and we expect great things from him. So we got a lot of pieces coming back on offense, and we feel like we've got a lot of skill guys that, frankly, a bunch of guys that can run fast. So we feel good about our skill level, and excited with that offensive line that has got a lot of experience. So feel good about where we're at.
Well, that had to have been key for Baxter to get